Alright, what's good, guys? My name is Victor, and I have been trading the futures markets for 5+ years. I've taken multiple six-figure payouts from prop firms. I've also traded live options accounts, live futures accounts, everything you can think of I have done. And today I'm going to give you a short but very informative breakdown of the strategy that I use to make me those profits and to be able to live as a full-time day trader, right? So let's get into the video. Make sure you pay attention and take a lot of notes. This, I know, will help a lot of people, and there will be a lot more videos to come. So let's get into this, guys, right here. Okay. All right, guys. So here we have the 15-minute time frame, right? That is going to be the most important thing. You want to have the 1, 5, and 15-minute time frame on your chart. Those are the three that I mostly switch back and forth from. For this strategy, the 15-minute time frame is going to be very important. Now, on my TradingView charts, I have no idea why it is not like how it's supposed to be, but the end of the 15-minute candle from 9:15 is at the bottom over here, and the end of the 30-minute candle is at the top right here, as you guys can see, 9:30. And basically in this strategy, you want to mark either the high or low of the 9:15 candle and then the higher low of the 9:30 candle. And now what you want to do from there is wait for a break above. So you guys can see here, this is the 9:45 a.m. candle. We break out of this, and then we get a pullback to the zone. Now this is where you have an opportunity to capitalize off of. In this strategy, I do use imbalances. When I teach people all the different types of imbalances and how they significantly have increased my win rate through my back testing sessions and forward testing sessions. You don't need it, but I use it because it significantly helps me get better entries and helps me identify whether the trade is really going to play out in my favor or if we are going to fake out and go back down to the other side. Because in this strategy, a lot of people get screwed by price popping up, coming down. It holds a little, they get in, and then it shoots back down, right? So I like to just have that extra confirmation telling me, okay, I know this is going to do this, and the chances of it working out are 9 or 8 out of 10, right? So from here, we have our imbalance identified. We go down to the 5-minute right here. We go down to the 5-minute and our entry, right? So we had our imbalance identified. We held the breakout area. Now your position would look something like this. Let me adjust this for you guys so you guys can see a lot better. All right, I would have my stop right below that breakout area, and then I would target the highs over here, right? The session high. And your trade would look something like this, right? Now, I know there's a lot of people on here that want to go for these top and bottom ticks, and unfortunately a lot of people in the space have implanted that into people's minds, but I like to have a higher win rate and a lower RR. Also, it is all about managing your position, right? So for me, as soon as we would get up to a certain level that I like, let's say this level, I would move my stop up to break even, right? So if it really wants to, it can run, which it did, you see, for the rest of the day. It can run. This is now a risk-free trade. I will not lose anything. I can take partials up here, trail my stop, and leave runners for however long I would like. Now let's go over the three main things that you need to understand in this strategy. all right, that will significantly help you. One is you need to be marking the higher low of the 915 to 930 candle. So the higher low of the 915, the higher low of the 930 candle. So 915 to 930 candle. Now this second step, identify an imbalance in price. This is where it gets a little more complicated because people will just mark out anything and everything, but there will be a separate video going over that in a different time. You don't need this, but for me, I found through forward and back testing that it significantly increases your win rate all the way up to a 80% win rate, right? And then third one, you have to have a clear target in the direction that you are taking the trade. I hate when people get in trades and they just put their TP at some random level, right, expecting it to get hit. And unfortunately, that is not how it works, right? You have to have a specifically targeted area that you want your take profit at for price to hit. So identify a clear target in the direction you are taking a trade. All right, so we have these three main things, right, that this strategy makes up of, right? These are the three important things. Obviously, there's more that goes into it, economic events, and you have to be able to identify trend, volume, candlestick patterns, the whole shebang. But I am just giving you guys a clear breakdown of this strategy that I use to make me money every single week, every month of the year in futures trading on live and on prop accounts. So we are going to continue on with this, right? Have these three key points that make up this strategy, and then I just showed you guys an example of it and how I would manage my position if I was in this trade. The key things you got to watch out for in this strategy, right, is fake outs. There's a lot of people that trade the orb and they essentially get clapped every time they enter, which is why we added this extra safety buff through the imbalances, right? Just gives you a little bit extra confirmation. Because if price were to break above here, come down to this zone, and then reject this imbalance, I would then know that we are probably going to continue down a little bit more, right? And this would save me a lot of losses. I'm telling you this right now. Instead of getting in right here, it kind of rejects and then it comes down, stops me out. I wait for it to bounce here, get above, feel the imbalance, and then get in the trade. And go for base hits, right? If you have a high win rate, you can enter in on a position with a lot more sizing because you know, like for me, an example, I know 8 out of 10 times I am going to win this trade, right? This for me is a perfectly A plus setup. Now there is like B setups and all that other stuff, which like I said, we will go over other times, but it is important as a trader that you need to be able to identify, right, when there is high probable opportunity to then capitalize off of that, right? Because you should be making a lot on your A plus setups, right? That is going to help you significantly. Rather than, it's an A plus setup, you risk a little bit less, you make a little money, then one loss puts you back to where you're at. Instead of you sizing up, making a bunch of money, and then if you do end up taking a loss, later on in the future of a day or whatever it is, you are still up significantly, and then you can take another win. And it's all a numbers game, right? Win more than you lose, and your money will start to pile up. Now, especially for prop trading. Yes, high RR is nice, right? And with this strategy, you can have a high RR, right? If you move your stop to break even, you peel some off at your initial TP and you leave runners, you can have a high RR, right? But for props, I would say, in my opinion, and I know a lot of other traders would say this too, having a high win rate is really the key thing, right? Because you have such small drawdown, right? People think, oh yeah, I'm getting a 50K account, I have 50K. No, you're basically paying for a $2,000 account, right? So if you have a high win rate, you're able to build up that balance better than someone who loses 10 times in a row and then makes half of it back on one trade, right? So those are key things to keep in mind, right? If you're prop trading, if you're on a live account, doesn't really matter, doesn't apply to you whatsoever at all. So those are all the key things on this strategy, right? I hopefully you guys have taken notes on everything. I'm going to try and get more better videos out there more frequently, so I can help you guys hopefully start getting payouts more and more and more. And I want to make this simple for you. A lot of people overcomplicate it and make it seem like something it isn't, right? When in reality, it's pretty simple, right? It's pretty simple. Once you cut out all the noise and all the garbage, and you have a select plan that you stick to and a strategy, it becomes really simple. As long as you are not over leveraging and over risking, it is a time game, right? You have to be able to have patience, sit there, time over, and build your balance up. You are not going to get rich overnight. So keep all these points that I'm telling you in mind, and we are going to be dropping more videos on stuff like this soon. If you guys like it, comment, like, subscribe. I will do my best to get better quality videos for you guys out and more videos out for you guys. That is it for the video. Peace, guys. We will speak again.